वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव परस्परदेवो भव. So namaskaram to one and all. I'm so glad to be here, ma'am, because after you recognizing my work, I really felt very appreciated, because award is something which motivates us to do much more better in life. So I was very happy that day. I told Rajaram sir to convey my thanks to you, and I'm very motivated again having this session with you all. I'm really glad, ma'am, because many people, we all are busy in our lives. We do everything, but very less people want spiritual insight for what we do. That's the reason we have very few people here. If we have a heroine or actress, for the mall opening, there will be thousands and lakhs of people uninvited, because it's what everybody follows, everybody goes, and we all going. But very few people, very chosen people wants a spiritual insight for whatever we do. So that's a wonderful thing, ma'am, you choosing. We all manage things, personal life, family, institution, but having spiritual sight to do that is a wonderful thing. So your thought is very wonderful. I again appreciate that. So managing people. I don't know how much I managed, but something which I learned from my Gurudev, has a very big institution, and whatever I learned from the scriptures, I would like to share. I'm not sure how much I'll be helpful to you all, but one thing I can say, that in my life, scriptures were really helpful to manage my own life. First thing I want to tell you that dharma, when it comes to dharma or spirituality, many of us think that dharma is a religion. That's the reason when we say, what is your dharma? The first answer is we are Hindu, we're Muslims, we're Christians, and etc. etc. We say that. But whereas when we come to Sanatan Dharma, and when we ask dharma, dharma is equal to duty. So what is my dharma in this situation? So if you take that sentence, that means what is my duty? And even if we go broader, what is dharma? In Sanatan Dharma or the duty which you should do or which you should opt for, should do better to the human society. Anything, whatever you do. So we have conflict. King karma kima karmeti kavyopyatra mohitaha. We all are many times confused, because we all have different duties, like a duty of a mother, duty of a daughter, or duty of a Rotary member. So at times there is conflict. Which one should I do? The mother's role, sometimes like ma'am is having. So she should stay at home taking care of husband now, or she should go because she's having a session. So sometimes we have conflict. Then what should we do? We all have such conflicts. Then what helps is Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, Mahabharata, all the scriptures. Even today, many people who read, who understand, who goes to Guru, they understand that scriptures are very helpful even today. But many of us don't go, because the reason is many of us feel it's a religious book. And yes, there is a small part teaching us that how to do puja, how many lamps we should we lit, or we should use this ghee or that ghee, etc. etc. Ritualistic, there are few things. But after me reading so many sessions, so many scriptures, I got a very clear idea about scriptures, that the person who reads scriptures, who follows it, becomes a better human and gets very good insight to understand themselves. They can manage their own life in a better way. So that is what is my experience. So yes, there are so many things, managing people, managing institution, and the best management book what I have read till date is Mahabharata. In the way of stories, different stories, not just the story of Yuddha. There are many things which we can learn. So I'll take a few insights from Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita and all. So I'll try to explain few things, not of much experience. So I took the few words from Google actually. So what all, company or wherever we workplace. So what all the things you deal with? Because I recently started, it's just 6 months, I started a foundation. Actually, it is 3 years old. But having office place, dealing with few people, it is very recent. But yes, in my personal life, whatever helped me, I want to share that with you all. So first thing is appreciate yourself that you want to have a spiritual way of life. Because we all remember Chitra ma'am and we started. That means a person having a spiritual way thinking, that makes huge difference in life. They being there or they not being there, as because she brought a lot of change in our lives and even in the many people's lives, she still remembered, right? So that's a reason the people who have a spiritual insight, they transform their own life and they also bring happiness or at least some good change in few people's life. At times, many decisions we take, marrying someone or living with someone, living in a place, choosing a place, maybe Hyderabad or Chennai or Mumbai, where should I stay? Something like this. Or an institution, anything. We always think of something that what is good for me. But when it is about the place, when it is about the group of people, when it is about the family, you have to value others' decision also, others' love, others' desires, like what my wife feels, or what is good for the society, or what my institution, with what thought I made this institution to work. So we have to think in that way, that with what thought did I start, and is it good for everyone? So when you think about everyone, then you'll get clarity, what to do, where to do, when to do, and then you have clarity. You're all set. Now what do you need? Next you need is a team. Without a group of people, we cannot manage home, we cannot manage institution. But what happens many times is, many of the people, they feel they want to do the whole work. We want to do, and sab meri sunni chahiye, people should listen to me, what I say, that should happen. Because I am president, I am the husband, I am this and I am that. So that happens. But what we have to do? We have to keep I aside again, I aside. And with what thought did I start? So regular meetings really help us. I'll tell you a few instances from Ramayana also. When Lord Sri Rama wanted to go for Yuddha, and he went. Even before also he had a meeting with Sugriva and all the Vanara Sena, that whom to invite, from which place to invite, which Vanaras to invite, whom to include, whom not to include, what are their abilities. So like we take the interviews. So this was decided and the first meeting. So I want to speak here about the second meeting. After the Vanara Sena and Lord Rama Lakshmana, they all reached the seashore. And what happened is, suddenly, unexpectedly, Vibhishana came, who is the brother of Ravana, with whom they came to fight. But they saw that with whom we came to fight, that brother has come. Now, few people are like, we have to kill them because they came. Few people are like, why did they come? Are they spying on us? This we are doubtful. But Hanumanji said, no, we have to include them in our team. So Lord Rama had people around him who had different opinions. Know what to do. His Lord, he's a king, he's a prince, whatever he wants, he can do that, right? All are under his control. So he can tell people, no, this is going to happen. But what did he do? To teach us. They had regular meetings. If you read Ramayana, you can understand these minor things. Never Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, or any greater patra, if we see in scriptures, they never took decision by themselves. They always have to have a meeting and they used to ask everyone's opinions. So ask everyone's opinion. So this is the thing, this happened. And then what is your way? And for that we have to be patient. We should have patient. And second thing is, we should have listening skills. Adha sun ke, yes, I learned it. Yeah, yes, okay, I understood. Okay, I understood. And finally doing what you want. So first time, second time that works. Third time they feel, arey isko idea kyun dena yaar? If she feels or he feels whatever is right, she knows everything, then why are we part of this institution? So such an institution where people are not involved actively, heartfully, that institution will not work greater. So you should involve with people's heartfully they should be involved. Then what happens? They feel that this is my institution. I'm not a servant here. This is my institution. They're giving importance to me. Then he asks Sugriva, Hanumanta, and he listens to everyone. And then he takes a decision. And then he tells everyone, why am I taking decision? Why am I going with one person? Why only I choose her decision? People may think, right? Oh, usne bola hai na, she said and she accepted that. Then you have to have active communication skills. That this is the reason, these are pros and cons. That's the reason I feel this is good. That's why I'm deciding. So what happened here? You're not managing anyone. You're not bossing anyone. You're making people understand that this is the way we have to go and this is good for our institution. Then what happens? Okay, first time they may feel, oh, they didn't listen to me, but they'll slowly understand that this is what is good for us. So team making, for team making we need to have meetings. Second thing happens in Krishna Leela also. Once Lord Krishna is sitting in his office, in his sabha, and two letters come. So one is the invitation for a yajna and one is the invitation from the kings. So kings are calling Krishna that Krishna come and protect us. And one is the invitation for yajna. So both are important and both are almost very near to each other. So where should I go? His Lord Krishna. But what he did? He again took a meeting. He asked everyone. So what do you feel? Where should I go? And if we don't have time to discuss go more in detail. But what happens is he listens to his Sarathi, the driver, because the decision given by him is, he says, Krishna, even if you want to protect the kings, but until and unless you win over Jarasandha, you cannot win these kings. So you have to win over Jarasandha, only then you can go to this yajna. So then he understood, and then he made understand people, yes, unless and until we don't win over Jarasandha, we can't do the Rajasuya yajna. You may not be understanding the thing, but then he makes them understand and then he decides according to this driver. So he gives importance to everyone. Few people may say, uski kya sunna yaar? I am this person in this my institution, I have a bigger position. Why should I listen to that person who is lower to me? This is many times we have in institution or even in family. I am elder, why should I listen to my child? Or I am the owner, why should I listen? I am the husband, why should I listen to wife? These things happen. But if we see the scriptures or if we see the good people, how they have managed life is, they give importance to everyone. If you start loving people around you, only then greater things happen. I'll tell you one present example of my Guruji. Recently, we had a meeting of Gita Parivar. There are 20,000 volunteers, and in 180 countries, in 14 languages, we are teaching Srimad Bhagavad Gita online. It's for free. So learngita.org. So there we had a meeting, regular meetings we have. And in that, my Guruji was telling, who is boss, we can say. And 20,000 volunteers are working only in one institution. There are so many other institutions of Gurudev. But he said, you all do whatever is good for us. What I am? I'm just a servant of you. Wherever you need me, please approach me. I'll do. I was very shocked, when I heard this. Guruji is saying, I'm your servant. So what happened? I felt, yes, I should do for my Guruji. I personally felt. It's not bossing. Shilpa, I told you, right? You should do this. He never tells us like that. He always tells us, Shilpa, do you want to do? Okay. Can you do? Is it possible? When will you do? If you feel you can do, you do it. Okay? So this is how he motivated, and that is how Shilpa became Shilpa Didi in my life. With his humility and with his support. So I personally feel that in an institution or even in family, humility wins. Humility always wins. So be humble with your staff. That is what all the scriptures say. And yes, meetings, regular meetings are very important. You should have a deep insight of what you want to do. Yeah, and yes, goal setting, communication, and yes, delegation. So when you have a team of people, one thing what we should understand is everyone is not made for everything. Everyone's capacity is different. Everyone's ability to do work is different. Everyone's way of doing is different. Pace is different. The way they understand is different. For few people, if you tell once, they will do it very nicely and they will give their own ideas also, like Hanumanji. But for few people, we have to explain. Madam, I didn't understand. Again, tell me. Again, they'll do work. Again, they'll come to you. Again, we have to explain. So there we have to be patient because everyone is not the same. Because one person is doing good, we cannot insult other, right? Everybody is different. Everybody's life story is different. Whatever they are going through in their personal life is very, very much different. So be compassionate with them. Try to understand. Yes, if they're doing wantedly, it's a different matter. But one thing what we should understand is every person is not same. And what I learned or what my Guruji says is, see their capacity, see their ability, where they are good. Few people are very good at communication skills. Few people are not good at communication skills, but they'll do all the work on system. So what are your needs? And where you have to hire that people. So you have to hire people or delegate people according to their capacities, not what you feel they should do. If that is not their domain, how can they do good at it, right? So everyone's domain is different. So we have to delegate whom to give which work, whom to give which work. That is called as managing. Managing people is not like I said and you have to do because I told. That is not managing. Managing is whom to delegate which work, where someone is good at which domain, which work can we give. So that is managing things, understanding people, understanding work, and where we can hire. So this is the thing. Next things comes is, yes, performance monitoring. Many things, many times it happens with me also. I tell people, and at times I forget. Then it taught me, okay, I am telling to people and I'm thinking they are doing, but at times they are not doing with the pace I wanted. Then we have to monitor what is your target for this week. Write the target before you start, submit it, and let me know after 1 week what did you do. If you're not seeing what are the works going on, and if you suddenly ask after 2 to 3 months or after a month, काम हो गया, they say which work, they'll forget it. So with shorter distance or in fewer days, like a week, we can take and we can monitor the work, that whatever the work is given, is it happening or not. If it is not happening, again training them. Yes, we have to train people. It is not that just because they came and they're good at some ability, or they came and they're joined and they're doing it work. No, we have to train, we have to tell them our goal, then they can do it. So constant monitoring is also very important. And conflict resolution, yes, there are many times institution is there, family is there, that means we have conflicts. Not all are same. Everybody has their own opinions, they want to do on their own thing. Then what happens here? Main Bhagavad Gita or Mahabharata plays the role. Many of us feel that Mahabharata is all story of conflicts, and that's the reason you don't keep at home. But what I read from Mahabharata is that's the best book, and the best age to read Mahabharata is kids. When you have kids, as younger as possible, you start teaching them Mahabharata shlokas. You start telling them Mahabharata stories. Because what is Mahabharata? I'll tell you. Mahabharata is not Mahabharata. Mahabharata's actual name is Jayanama Granthaha, the book of success. Many of us don't know. We feel Mahabharata is the story, the stories of war. And yes, even if we take the story of the war, we all understand that we all have struggles in our life, in the personal life, with our own selves. We're not unable to manage our own self, or we are having conflicts at home. If not everybody has a good family, a good understanding family. Many times there are conflicts in the office place. Then how to deal with it? In half an hour, maybe I can't complete. I can't tell even the topics what we have. But yes, there is there how to manage people, how to understand people, how to sideline people who are stopping you to do good work, how to manage with toxic people. So there are so many things. So to understand conflict and to not to get into it, and even if there are conflicts, how to get your work done, the best book I would suggest is Mahabharata, and Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata. So first of all, I would say that take out from your mind that spiritual sessions are boring. Spiritual sessions are always enriching, because only here we try to understand ourselves. When in any session you go out, you're just looking at people, what kind of dress she is wearing, that's good. Marriages, you do that. When you go outside, at times we feel depressed. Uska institution acha chal raha hai, not mine. Comparison. But whereas if you go to spiritual sessions, what happens? You observe yourself. I can challenge. Give me more chance. Many times you come. 1 hour, half an hour, 2 hours, you'll say, ma'am, we didn't even understand how 2 hours passed. Why that peace is there in spiritual sessions? Because you'll find peace within yourself. And nowhere you can find, but you can get internal connection with yourself. That's the reason we feel peace, happiness after the spiritual sessions. So see, once or twice, if you go through this different stories of Mahabharata, Ramayana, I challenge people actually. You come, you attend sessions, then you will only say, "Ma'am, we want to listen more," because that helps us to get life better. Or personally, that really helped me in my life. So first thing we have to understand is spirituality is not boring. Spirituality helps us. So there are so many conflicts like this. If you see the Mahabharata Yuddha also, when the Mahabharata Yuddha was going on, one side there are Kauravas, so many people, and Pandavas were very less, and they had a war. Even in our office place also we can find there is a person who is having group of people supporting him, and is not that good. I can say is negative, and there is a person who is who's alone and is fighting with them. So how to deal with such people? But there is always a question. Are he's doing bad and so many people are supporting him. I am doing good. I know, we know. But at times, good people doesn't get much of the support. Then we feel like I'm lonely. What to do, how to deal with this. And I'm telling you, there are so many people killing themselves, ending up their life just because they're not able to manage their own life or unable to deal with toxic people. And again, I'll tell you, managing self helps us. Second thing is Mahabharata stories helps us. How to deal with such people. See, Mahabharata reminds us that there were less people, there's a less amount of people in Pandava's side, more on Kaurava's side. But who did win? Pandavas won. Why did they win? Because there was unity. Second thing is they all were fighting or working, I can say an institution, working for dharma. When you are doing for a good cause, yes, take my word, when you are doing for good cause, that karma and that positivity of that karma, that intention, the positivity behind that intention will surely help you. And there may be many groups of people targeting you, targeting your work, not letting you do your work. You can experience in your life, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, few months they can win, but one day you will see that you are succeeded and not they. This is the power of positivity and doing work for the good cause. That is what Bhagavad Gita teaches us. Krishna said, see, when Mahabharata Yuddha started, was about to start, and Arjuna said, I don't want to fight because I don't want to kill people. Many of us feel if you are rude to someone, if you are stopping someone, then that means we are bad. He said, don't see that he's your brother, he's your colleague, he's what? You have to do your duty. Karmanye vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. What will happen? Don't think about it. But if you feel you're doing right, then please go with your dharma karya. Go with your duty. Don't think about what people will say. There are so many people, I am alone. It's absolutely okay. Always stand by dharma, and dharma helps us. I can say this is the Newton's law. Every action has an opposite reaction, equal and opposite reaction. That is what is karma. I personally faced so many situations. There's no time to tell in detail. But yes, when we do for good cause, good thing comes to us. And when you are doing bad, maybe one day, few days, few years, you can succeed. But one day we see that the bad people are never remembered. They never win in their life. We may see that they are earning, but they are never happy in their life. So the people who do their duty are only happy with themselves and their family. That's the reason Bhagavad Gita teaches us, even if you have an institution also, it is said that when you set a goal or when you start an institution, there are different kind of institutions, right? Many people are earning a lot of money these days. I think everybody are earning a lot of money. Today, everybody has a phone. In home, everybody is having their own phones. Everybody is having different sets, dinner set, TV set, necklace set, everything is there. But at homes, the people who do not follow dharma, they're upset. Always upset. They can't have a good and happy life. But what helps us is dharma karya. When we have an institution which is working for a good cause, that will be always remembered. See, Abdul Kalam ji, if you see, he got the second time presidentship. But what did he do? I don't want this. I want to do some good work. I want to get connected with people. So even after losing him, we still remember, and his words are changing people's life. So when you start an institution, I would always say, please see the intention. Don't always go by money. Money gives happiness only for a few days. So many people may say, yes ma'am, it sounds very good, but paise ke bina kuch nahi hota. Yes, many people say that, but let me be practical. See, money is very important. Whatever we do, earning money is not wrong, first thing. Earning money is not wrong. We have to earn a lot because artha is called as purushartha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Artha is money. You have to earn a lot. But the thing is, dharma, moksha, in between you have artha and kama, your desires and your income or whatever you earn, maybe the property, money, or whatever you earn, that should be under dharma and moksha. That means that should be rightfully earned and that should give you moksha. Very recent example I can give. This is 2026. If we go just 5 to 6 years back, we all know the stories of COVID, right? We were sitting at home. The whole world was crying, right? Do you think all the people who died, they were poor? No, many of them were rich, but the whole home got destroyed, right? Many were very rich. They didn't even get the cylinders. We can see in people, you Rotarians are working with people, you're doing social service. We see people have everything, so-called everything, but they don't have peace in their home. Few of them don't have kids, few of them don't have, happiness. That's the reason they come to many of the people join such institutions because they don't find peace at home. That's also one of the reason I have seen people. And why this happens? Because they have lot of money. But when that is not rightfully earned, that will not give us happiness. Yes, earn a lot, but that should be rightfully earned. That's a reason when we have an institution goal, when we set a goal, we should have clarity that my institution will always work for dharma. What is dharma? My duties and whatever the work I am doing, that should bring happiness to the whole world is what dharma about. It's not a religion. You will never find a religion word or do this, then you'll go to moksha. No. Moksha is here itself. That's a spiritual touch, right? So whatever you do, that will give you happiness. These days, people are donating organs. Many people are donating. Many people are appreciating the work. But what is happening? Recently, few months back, there was a van, and when the van got opened in one place, few police caught the van, and so many dead bodies came out of it, and all the dead bodies were belonging to children below 14. And when the search went on, they found that all the body parts were missing, organs were missing. So at times, I feel one heart, 80 lakhs. Is organ donation good thing or bad thing? Is your knowledge, the medical institution or whatever the institution you're working? So you're earning a lot, but what are you doing to the society? So your work, your institution, no matter what you do, that should transform others' lives in a happy way. That should bring good change in the society. That should be the main goal. And when your goal is good, you will get such people and your institution will surely win and will always give you happiness, even you are there or you are not there. So this is what karma teaches and the spirituality teaches us. And next, yes, we have to be updated. Like a story of, if you see Jhansi Ki Rani, yes, she was a warrior, but she died at very early age. The reason, one thing is, she still had talwar, whereas the opposite people, they had guns. They shoot and people died, but still she was. So similarly, we have to upgrade our knowledge. We have to be updated with the things what we need for our institution. Same working with the old things, just because we have this ideology, this will not work. So we have to be updated with the technology and all, our knowledge, our education system. This also should be. There is one story in Bhagavata that once there was a yuddha, war between demigods and gods. So what happens is gods win, devatas win, demigods, they win over the asuras. So when they win, what do? They enjoy. Drinking, living and just being merry. They just relax and we won with the help of Vamana Bhagavan, Krishna Bhagavan and all the Samudra Manthan Leela, it happens and they win. They are very happy. We worked so hard and we won. And they're relaxing. Here what happens when the asuras failed? After some time, all asuras attack the demigods and they again lose the war. Then Krishna comes and he says, see, once if you win, you're thinking your institution is, yes, aa gaya first position pe. Okay, this year we won, 2026, 2025, yes, we are on the top. And just relax, yeah, yes, let us relax. What will happen? The other institutions or the people may take over you. So, just by winning one session, we should not relax. We have to keep working hard. We have to keep working hard for our goal. And that is what Krishna says. And what the Asuras did in their period of failure is they did tapasharya. Again coming. So what do you feel tapasharya is? Tapo dvandva sahanam. Even if your company is not doing good, you know, then what you should do? You should do tapasharya. Everything is good, then we all can do good. When the things are not doing good, we have to do tapasharya. What is tapasharya? Tapodvanva sahanam. Even there are insults, even the company is running, in losses. You should not give up. No problem. I will bear with this. I will bear with the insults. I will bear with the losses, but I will not give up on the company. When a person or the team works in this direction, then what happens? That will win. So that's the reason we have to never give up and we have to keep doing our work. So this is one of the stories from Bhagavata. Then yes, work-life balance. So we all are doing good at institution. Everything is there. But many of us, yes, there are complaints that my husband is not giving me time. My wife is not giving me time. Papa, mommy, you're not giving me time. So this I want to add. See, you're doing very good job, or your institution, maybe Rotary, or your the personal whatever works you're doing. But many times we miss out that we are doing everything, we are successful in life, but we are not successful father, we are not successful mother, or we are not successful in our personal life. So that how can we do? काम की जगह काम. You have to set a time. Who will come and set a time? No, 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 no. This is work and you should stop. When you enter the home, you should say, okay, Rotary yahan khatam. When you enter, you might be a boss in Rotary, you might be someone in outside. But when you enter, you are a father, you are a husband, and then your life becomes happy. What happens with many of us is we bring the work load to the home, all the stress to the home. And can't you understand I'm working? Can't you understand I'm having so much of stress? Just think about the family, they're waiting for you just to see you smile, just to speak to you, to have a good food with you. But what are we doing? We're earning so much. So much. Our institution is doing so good. But why? What are we earning for? We should have a question to ourselves. What am I earning? It's surely for the family, right? For my kid, my husband, my family, my mother, right? So we are earning for them. We say that we are earning for them. But when time comes, we say, I don't have time, please. Can you manage by yourself? Can you manage by yourself? Can you please go to child's parent meeting? Then that child asks, Mom, why doesn't my father come? So feel their emotions. And then this is very important. All the time working, and one day when you look back, your family is gone. Yes, you find that you're not connected to your family. So that's the reason work-life balance is very much important. Like I said in the first, you have to get connected to yourself. Similarly, family has a role. Second thing I always suggest, even my family also I suggest, you spend time with your family. You spend time in the institution or your thing. But you should have some friends where you can go and live your childhood again. Like even today when I speak to my school friend, I say, Ain't right, no. And they say, Shilpa, do you speak like this? I said, yes, I'm still a school girl. So what happens is, Hamisha, the tension, work. Then we forget that there is an inner child, which we never listen to. Just be funny at times. Just crack jokes. Be happy. Be friendly with someone. Just to be successful in life, or if you are doing a greater job in institution, that does not mean your inner child is lost. So play with your kids, speak to your friends. So have a work balanced life, or else what happens is you're running, and one day when you look back, yes, have a big institution, have big home, have car and everything, and yes, my family, please come, and you find no one. So that should not happen, because our life is for our happiness, and our happiness is, yes, our family. So take time and speak to parents. I'm not sure, maybe I'm making emotional, but I feel very bad when I see that Amma, my kids are very successful in their life. They have been to Australia, USA, but they don't speak to us. And we are so, technology itni bad gayi hai that we are building homes for our parents, and we are making arrangements of everything, medicine, nurse and everything, and we say if they die, it's okay, we can carry on the funeral. I don't understand how can even kids are losing emotions for their own parents. That is, it's okay that we are not there for their funeral. You're doing social service. Tell me if this word, if a parent says to the little child, it's okay, then what will we do? You call the human rights, everyone. What are you doing with the little child? But we forget that when our parents grow older, they are same like the kids. How they cleaned us, they cleaned our body, they taught us everything. When we were walking and we were falling down, they holded us. So we are being so intelligent, but our emotional quotient is becoming zero these days. So yes, husband is important, wife is important, kids are important, but whatever here, we are here in an institution or in our family life, our parents should always come first. And yes, one more thing I want to tell you is, which I faced personally, is many times when we want to do anything in your life, personal life or institutional life or wherever, there are some toxic people who are waiting for you to fail. We all have such people in our life, mostly in family or here. So how to deal with them is the main thing, right? In my life, when that happened, I used to cry and cry and cry. Why are they doing this, yaar? Example, like he's my brother, he should do the duty of brother. He's my mother, she's my mother, she should duty of the a mother. He's my friend. He says he's my friend, but he's not doing duty of a friend. So my Guruji told me one thing, that others' duty is not your right. Others' duty is not our right. But I learned it. I used to tell this in speeches, but I never applied in my life. And then what happened slowly? I was finding no solution. That people are troubling me. My own people are waiting for me to lose myself and my goals in life. They're causing obstacles in my life. What should I do? One solution is always there. Let's kill myself. And that we all think. Many educated people also think of this option. Just let me end my life. I don't think I can do this. That's the reason many well-educated people also give up on their life or give up on their work. They leave their dreams. Then what is the solution? Problems we all know. What is the solution? Solution is spirituality again. Understand who you are. Kastvam koham kuta ayatah kame janani kome tata. Who am I? Where am I here? Why am I in this family? Why only me? Why only me people are troubling? When we understand these things and when you start your inward journey, that helps us to become really bold and happy and focus on your own dreams. That's the reason I tell people, Bhagavad Gita is not a religious book. Please introduce it into schools, youngsters, and to all the age groups of people. Bhagavad Gita helps us to manage life. Like a simple example, I'll tell you, I'm not able to focus Krishna. Chanchalam hemana Krishna pramathi balavadrudham tasyaham nigraham manne vayoriva sudushkaram. Simple thing. 5,000 years back, one question was raised, Krishna, I am not able to focus. Same question if it is asked. Is it relatable? The answer given by Krishna? What did he say? The answer is, Abhyasena tu kaunteya. Yes, that will happen when you want to read or, like mobile. The main engaging thing is mobile. You're not able to focus. I know that I should, keep it aside. I should focus on my work. Or I'm just thinking more about the toxic people. This I'm doing. Then what is the solution? That when you focus on your work, when you do, first day it might be difficult. Second day it becomes better. Third day it becomes more better. Fourth day it becomes more better. So what is helping us? Abhyasena tu kaunteya. You have to tell yourself that I am not going to focus on toxic people. I'm not going to focus on the things which are distracting me. I'm not focusing on the things which are taking me away from my dreams. So when we start focusing, we can make our life better. So the solution is in our hands. Maybe managing institution, managing self, or managing a family. Bhagavad Gita again, Uddhared Atmanatmanam Atmanam Avasadayet. Again, the 5,000 years old book, even a single letter need not be changed. Again, it says, Uddhared Atmanatmanam, help yourself. We find so many books, right? So many authors are writing on the same topic, self-help, self-help, self-help. But this shloka and regarding self-help, Krishna has told to the warrior who was giving up on his life, who was giving up on his duties, who was giving up on his goals. What? That you are going to help yourself. If you are not going to help yourself, no one are going to help you. So yes, you have given me time. I told whatever I could. So finally, listening and leaving will not help us. So whatever we heard, we have to put it into practice. So practice helps us. It need not be spiritual way. Does not mean you're spending hours together, but little time give to yourself. Understand your goals. Understand yourself. When you're self-managed, I can say we can manage things and life. Last, I would say, again I'll come here. I started from here, that nobody likes to be managed. One thing what Krishna did, I'll tell you, when there was a very big yajna, it's a very huge event, I can say. Then Parikshit Maharaj asked his boss, right, what are the works he took care of? If we are the boss of a big institution or a big event, what do? Hey, you should do this. You should do this. I told you, why don't you do this? This is how we do. Maybe not like this, but in some or the other way. That we tell people, we command people that you should do this. What did Krishna do? He took care of two things. He washed the feet of all the saints who came. And that is what we feel very low, right? Touching someone's feet is very low. But he washed the feet. And second thing, what he did is, after eating all the plates, he took and he cleaned the thing. That also we don't like, right? So don't think any work is low. For my family, for my institution, whatever is good for my institution, my family, I will do that. I will do that. Then when I am taking, automatically that person will come, Madam, मैं भी निकालूंगा. I'll also do that. So don't command people. When you're humble, when you're loving, when you do yourself the works you want to see in the institution, people will automatically do. The same is with family also. So be humble, support yourself, love yourself, be compassionate with yourself. Similarly, support your system. Then everyone, when their hearts mingle with the institution and the goals, you can win over it. So if any questions?
That's the major thing that you see in an organization. The conflicts between two people, and I know that both people are important. I don't know whom to support at what time, because if I'm supporting one, the other will get annoyed. How do I manage that situation?
So two people are fighting.
And both are very important.
Okay. So when both are important, you can't speak in front of them. Like, yes, he's also telling right, he's also telling right. I would suggest call them personally and explain that you are very important for me. The first sentence which will bring changes, you are very important for me. But more than you and me, our institution is much more important. So keep the conflicts aside. Not everyone are, will go the way we want. So keep the conflict aside and let us focus on our work. Because rather than you or that person or the conflict, that is very small. So have a bigger picture and let us focus on the institution, because we have bigger goals. So when we show them the bigger goals, bigger picture, then that becomes small. The same thing do with the other person.
Gen Z are now part of the workforce.
Yeah.
And in the time of this social media and Instagram, their attention span is very, very limited. Besides that, they are also coming from affluent backgrounds, so money is also not that critical for them. So the span, they are now picking to be in a company more than 1 year or 2 years, means that is something what they are. So as soon as they will getting a better offer, they will switch. Now we were talking about sharing the vision, right? Being a leader in the company. I'm having certain vision, and if let's say Gen Zs are the part of the team, how we can get them, or let's say influence them to be part of my vision, stay longer, because this is where they move very fast. So this is the one query I am having. So if you can.
Yes. Actually, in school or colleges, whatever we were taught is about the intelligent quotient. We were, made like machines. Intelligence, how to earn money, only that was taught. But whereas when it comes to emotion, no one taught us. That's the reason I feel since childhood, teach them about emotions and their life, the values, whatever they work or they do, how that will bring positive change after the 30s and 40s. That Gen Z or even Gen Z, Gen Alpha or whatever we can say, they're never taught about the life after 30s and 40s. Never taught about it. We are just angry with, hey, why are you doing like this? We were not like this. So we are comparing ourselves and them. Then they are like, no, we are better because we are more intelligent. We are earning more. We are better than you. So emotional quotient is very much important, that make them understand, beta, whatever you do, Maybe you can earn money today, tomorrow, a lot of money. But what about your emotional life? So when they get connected with the institution or with the goal emotionally, maybe they leave your company today. But when tomorrow, or the third time, when they understand, then when they get connected emotionally, their life will change. I'll tell you one thing, ma'am. I heard since my childhood that America is the best, thing where place to live, and there are no beggars over there. There is no bad thing. So everything is just life, like a swarga. That's what I heard. But COVID changed my vision. In COVID, I saw so many short movies on like Sugar Daddy, help others, whatever you do, karma hits back. Karma hits back. There are so many channels of USA people. You do good, good will come to you. You do good, good will come to you. So they were also trying to change the generation by connecting them to the emotional. That you should have an emotional life. You should have an emotional part of your life. Do good. Be fair to your people. Then good will happen. Do good to the institution. This is what will happen. Then I felt, okay, even these problems exist even over there. And people over there also trying to teach about emotions and all. Where we are teaching Bhagavad Gita and all these things like, touch the feet of parents, take care of others, share whatever I give you, sharing, which we called as dana, charity. So similarly, there also we are doing. But here, we are doing with the help of Bhagavad Gita. They're not understanding that. I feel that we are, far better than that. That here we teach in family only. So I feel that we should teach them emotionally, and we should give a picture of their life after 30s and 40s. I feel that will help. And that is what I'm doing in as a Hindu Dharma Rashtra Karya also. That Gen Z, yes, there was a period when they were not really connected. But I am seeing many of the Gen Z people coming in the Hindu Janashakti or Bajrang Dal. They're having so much emotions for their country now. They want to do something good to the country. Why? Because their emotions are changed when we taught them Ramayana, Mahabharata, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, all the stories of warriors. So things change. So I feel Bhagavad Gita and the stories of greater warriors and a vision that will change. That brings a lot of change. And I personally challenge people. On camera, I'll tell them, please give me 5 years. Maybe one day you'll not understand. But after 1 year, 2 years, you'll come and you'll cry, Didi, you gave us our life. Many of us, what happens is we are intelligent, but we are not having emotional quotient. So emotionally understanding life is very much important. I hope I answered. I'm not sure, but try and do that, whatever helped me, I'm just trying to share. Any more questions?
ఇప్పుడు దాకా మన ఇతిహాసాలు కానీ పురాణాలు కానీ ఇప్పుడు మీరు చెప్పినాక ఒక సందేశం నాకు వచ్చిన
పర్వాలేదు చెప్పండి, ప్లీజ్ షేర్.
భగవద్గీత గురించి గొప్ప చెప్పారు, మహాభారతం గురించి చెప్పారు. ఎందులో తీసుకోవాలి?
యాక్చువల్లీ మీకు ఎంత టైం ఉంది అంటే మీకు చాలా టైం ఉంది అంటే మీరు మహాభారతం వినాలి. యాక్చువల్లీ భగవద్గీతలో ఉన్న శ్లోకాలు 700, 1,00,000 శ్లోకాస్ ఇన్ మహాభారత్. బట్ భగవద్గీతలో ఉన్న ఫిలాసఫీ మీరు కనుక స్టోరీ వైజ్గా అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి అంటే మహాభారతంలో స్టోరీస్ ఉన్నాయి. యూ రీడ్ రామాయణ, భాగవతం, ఎవ్రీథింగ్, దాని ఫిలాసఫీ ఇస్ భగవద్గీత. భగవద్గీత ఈజ్ ఆల్ అబౌట్ ఫిలాసఫీ. బట్ స్టోరీ వైజ్గా అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి. మనకు కనెక్ట్ అవుతాం కదా, స్టోరీ చెప్పకండి తెలుసా ఇలా రాజున్నాడు అనగానే ఓ ఏమైంది అంటాం మన పెద్దవాళ్ళని కూడా. సో దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ హీస్ డన్ ఇన్ ఆల్ ది స్క్రిప్చర్స్. స్టోరీ వైజ్గా మనకు భగవద్గీత ప్రిన్సిపల్స్ నేర్పించారు. ఐసే ఏది కూడా 1 డేలో కాదండి. ఒక డాక్టర్ డిగ్రీ అవ్వాలంటే 28 ఇయర్స్ ఇస్తారు. మనము ఏం చేస్తున్నామంటే ఒక ప్రవచనం వినంగా టక్ అండ్ మీరాబాయి అయిపోవాలి, టక్ నేను సక్సెస్ఫుల్ అయిపోవాలి. దట్ విల్ నాట్ హ్యాపెన్. ఇట్స్ అ ప్రాసెస్ ఆఫ్ పేషెన్స్ and vigilance and trusting yourself, supporting yourself, doing the sadhana, whatever you have heard. And everyone's journey is very different. 1 year పట్టచ్చు, 2 years పట్టచ్చు, కొంతమంది few years పట్టచ్చు, చెప్పలేము మనం. ఇట్స్ ఇండివిజువల్ జర్నీ. బట్ ఐ సే ఇట్స్ అ జర్నీ. ఎప్పుడు కూడా రోజు భగవద్గీత 10 minutes ఇవ్వండి. ఎవ్రీడే 10 minutes విల్ చేంజ్ యువర్ లైఫ్ సమ్ డే. ధర్మము 2 words యాక్చువల్లీ. ధర్మ ఈజ్ డ్యూటీ. ఏ డ్యూటీ? ప్రత్యేక వ్యక్తి మీరు చేసే మీ ప్రతి ఒక్క డ్యూటీస్ కూడా ఏదైతే సమాజానికి మంచి చేసేటట్టుగా చూడండి, అదే మీ ధర్మము. మీకు 2-3 ధర్మాలు ఉన్నాయనుకోండి, సింపుల్ చెప్పాలంటే 2-3 ఉన్నాయి. ఇది చేయనా అర్థం కావడం లేదు. ఏం చేయాలి? ఏది చేస్తే అందరికీ మంచి జరుగుతుంది, అది ధర్మము. మరి దాన్ని సనాతనం ఎందుకు అన్నారు అంటే ఇది ఈరోజు సృష్టించింది కాదు, ఇది ఒక మంచి సృష్టించింది కాదు, అది ఎప్పటి నుంచో ఉంది. కాబట్టి ఆ ధర్మంలో మీరు బిలీవ్ చేస్తే అది ఎప్పటి నుంచో ఉంది కాబట్టి దాని వెనకాల దేవుడు ఉన్నాడు కాబట్టి దాంట్లో ఒక శక్తి ఉంటుంది చెప్పడం. అండ్ దట్ విల్ నాట్ ఎండ్ ఆల్సో. అంటే ఏంటిది, ఒకసారి ఉంటుంది కదా, నేను ఇంత చేస్తున్నాను, ఐఎమ్ డూయింగ్ సో మచ్, బట్ ఏంటిది అసలు ఎప్పుడైనా రిజల్ట్ ఉంటుందా అంటే ఎస్, రిజల్ట్ ఉంటుంది. ఎందుకంటే సనాతనం ఎప్పుడు ఎండ్ అవ్వదు, అదే నీ ధర్మం. సో దాని యొక్క గొప్పతనం చెప్పడం అనమాట. ఇట్ విల్ ఆల్వేస్ స్టాండ్ విత్ యూ ఈవెన్ బిఫోర్ అండ్ ఆఫ్టర్, ఇట్ విల్ నెవర్ ఎండ్. అది చెప్పడం వల్ల సనాతనము అంటారు. బట్ ధర్మ ఇస్ డ్యూటీ.
విషయాలు యాజ్ అ parenting coach మీరు చెప్పే విషయాలన్నీ నేను కూడా అప్లై చేస్తూ ఉంటాను అన్నమాట. సో
Okay.
I got connected.
థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి, థ్యాంక్స్ అలాట్. నేను చెప్పాను కదండి, ఫస్ట్ టైం తక్కువ మంది వస్తారు, సెకండ్ టైం పెరుగుతారు, థర్డ్ టైం పెరుగుతారు. బికాస్ దట్స్ నాట్ పవర్ ఇన్ మీ, దట్స్ అ పవర్ ఆఫ్ అవర్ స్క్రిప్చర్స్. ఒకసారి చదివాను, ఫస్ట్ టైం చదివిన తర్వాత ఐ ఫెల్ట్ సేమ్ స్టోరీ ఎవ్రీ టైం చెప్తే వింటారా భాగవతం నాకు అనిపించింది. బట్ నేను ఎన్నిసార్లు భాగవతం చెప్తున్నా కూడా ఏదో తెలియని సంతోషం. అండ్ ఐఎమ్ ఫైండింగ్ మై సెల్ఫ్ బెటర్ అండ్ బెటర్ ఎవ్రీ డే. సో ఇంకా చెప్పాలనిపిస్తుంది. సో అదే అంటాను కదా, ఇట్స్ అ జర్నీ, వన్ డేలో కాదు. రండి, వినండి, బాగుంటుంది.
నేను 2 days నుంచి డిస్కషన్ అదే చేసుకుంటున్నాను. ఎవరు వచ్చినా ఎవరు రాకపోయినా ఫస్ట్ ఇద్దరితో స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది.
అందుకోసం నేను ఎప్పుడు ఆడియన్స్ అడగడండి, వెరీ ప్రాక్టికల్. ఇద్దరు వచ్చినా పర్వాలేదు, బట్ ఐ గో. ఎందుకంటే ఒక్కొక్కసారి హ్యూజ్ క్రౌడ్ ఉంటారు, ఒక్కొక్కసారి ఉండరు. బట్ 7 days భాగవతం పెట్టాక కూడా చాలామంది అంటారు, దీది భాగవతం పెడితే మరి జనాలు రాకుంటే, ఐ టెల్ దెమ్ ఫస్ట్ డే 2 ఉన్నా పర్వాలేదు, లాస్ట్ డే హాల్ నిండిపోతుంది. బట్ కంటిన్యూగా ఉండాలి, లైక్ టుడే, బికాస్ యుల్ గో అండ్ యుల్ టెల్ ఏ చాలా బాగుంది రా, దే కెన్ 2 people will come, 2 people will come. అండ్ లాస్ట్ డే యూ సీ మొత్తం హాల్ నిండిపోతుంది అండ్ పీపుల్ విల్ గెట్ కనెక్టెడ్. సో అందుకోసం 3 days 7 days ఇట్లాగా సెషన్స్ ఉంటే మనకు ఇంకా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉంటే నెక్స్ట్ డే అడుగుతారు, థర్డ్ డే ఇట్లా అడుగుతారు. నేను యాక్చువల్లీ మీరు క్యాన్సిల్ అవుతే వేరే మీటింగ్ అనుకున్నాను, అందుకోసం క్యాన్సిల్ అన్నా. బట్ దెన్ ఐ ఫెల్ట్ నో, దిస్ ఈజ్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ అన్నాను కదా. కాన్ఫ్లిక్ట్ బిట్వీన్ ధర్మాస్, సార్ దగ్గర రేపన్నా వెళ్ళొచ్చు అనేసి అది పోస్ట్పోన్ చేసి ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసాను.
మనతో మనం కూర్చోవాలి. సెల్ఫ్ కాన్ఫ్లిక్ట్స్ ఉన్నప్పుడు అది పాసిబుల్ కాదు. దెన్ హౌ డు వి మేనేజ్ అస్?
ఫస్ట్ థింగ్ స్టార్ట్ విత్ ఎక్సర్సైజ్. ఎందుకంటే ఇట్లా కూర్చోగానే అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే మనతో మన బాడీ ఫైట్ చేస్తుంది, నువ్వు చేయలేవు, ఇట్లా అవుతుంది, ఇలా అవుతుంది. ఇట్స్ నాట్ పాసిబుల్. ఫిజికల్ ఎక్సర్సైజ్ చాలా హెల్ప్ అవుతుంది మ్యామ్. అది కూడా చెప్తాను నేను. లేవకున్నా పర్వాలేదు, అప్పుడు ఏంటంటే మనం మన మైండ్కి రీజన్ ఇస్తాం అనమాట. 4కి లేవలే కదా, పోన్లే ఈరోజు వాకింగ్ స్కిప్ చేద్దాం. ఐ సే 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, ఈవినింగ్ 7 o'clock, బట్ గో ఫర్ అ వాక్. ఏం పర్వాలేదు. మనం ఏం చెప్పాలి అంటే, సి అండి, ఇఫ్ యూ లవ్ మీ అండ్ యూ వాంట్ టు సపోర్ట్ మీ ఆర్ యువర్ డాటర్ సమ్మన్, మనం ఏం చేస్తాం, పర్వాలేదు నాన్న ఈరోజు కాలేదు కదా, రేపు మనం చేద్దామా, సెకండ్ డే ఆల్సో వికెట్, ఈరోజు మనం చేద్దామా. అలాగా మీతో మీరు మాట్లాడండి, పర్వాలేదులే 4 o'clock అవ్వకుంటే స్కిప్ చేయొద్దు, మనం చేద్దాం కదా, ఓకే పర్వాలేదు, 6 అయింది కదా, 6కి వాక్ వెళ్దాం పదా. సో స్టార్ట్ స్పీకింగ్ టు యువర్ సెల్ఫ్ అండ్ గో. నాకైతే వాక్ చాలా హెల్ప్ అయింది మ్యామ్. గో విత్ ద వాక్ విత్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్, దట్ హెల్ప్స్. సో టైం ఏం పెట్టుకోకండి, డోంట్ బి రిజిడ్ అన్నాను కదా, బీ కంపాషనేట్ టు యువర్ సెల్ఫ్. మనం అన్ని రూల్స్ పెట్టుకుందామంటే, రూల్స్ పెట్టుకున్న వాళ్ళు అగైన్ మేనేజ్ చేసేవాళ్ళు సక్సెస్ఫుల్ అవ్వరు. బీ హంబుల్. ఫస్ట్ కంపాషన్ మన మీద మనం చూపించుకోవాలి. లైఫ్లో ఏమైంది, దట్ వాజ్ నాట్ ఇన్ అవర్ హ్యాండ్స్. మనం కూడా తప్పులు చేసాము, వేరే వాళ్ళు తప్పులు చేసాము, దానివల్ల సఫర్ అయ్యాము. బట్ వాట్ నెక్స్ట్? హూ విల్ సపోర్ట్ అస్? వీ షుడ్ సపోర్ట్ అస్. సో బీ కంపాషనేట్. ఎప్పుడు కుదిరితే అప్పుడు.
Same वहाँ पे लिखा है, if you are alone and you are getting bored, obviously you are in a bad company. So first love yourself, pamper yourself, then only you can love others.
Yes. See, देखिए आप ईशा जाएंगे या कहीं भी जाएंगे, कहीं ना कहीं वाक्य एक ही होता है, सेम सेंटेंस you'll find, because all the philosophy is one of Sanatan Dharma. The philosophy is one. The words may change, language may change, but एक है. Sit straight. Close your eyes. You can hold your hand. Take a deep breath. Release it. We can do really slowly. Take again. Release it. Keep a smile on face and tell yourself, I'm taking all the positivity of the world within me And when you release, see that I'm leaving all the stress outside. Taking all the positivity, leaving all the tensions out. And just listen to the very mild sound of the breath. Take again and leave it. Take a deep breath again and slowly leave it. Inhale all the positivity. Exhale all the stress and negativity. Inhale the happiness. Exhale the distress. The most peaceful place is my heart. The most happier place is me. The best friend to me is me. The one who is going to be successful, happier, is me. Telling myself, rub on your face and open your eyes to the beautiful world. So thanks again. Thank you for giving the opportunity. Thank you, Madhu ma'am. Thank you, Rajaram sir. Thank you. Thank you one and all. Jai Shri Krishna.